Hi, I'm Hans Cluxton. I'm an attorney. I help folks answer legal questions. I'm licensed in Arizona and also in Alaska. I live mainly in Arizona. I'd like to spend more time in Alaska, but with what's going on with the pandemic and all, that's just not possible right now. And in fact, that's kind of what I wanted to talk to a little bit about today about what can you do given everybody's plans are on hold right now and we're all kind of seeing what happens next. Seems a lot of days that the people I'm talking to, everybody's frustrated and they're frustrated with the waiting. Uh, People have been waiting for the government to pass some stimulation legislation, and then they were waiting to receive, and still are, I guess, stimulus checks, and then they were waiting for a small business loan package to be put together by Congress, and then they were waiting to apply, and they're waiting for their funds, and then there are no funds, and then we're waiting for Congress to act again and refund this if they will. All that's under discussion. Um, we're waiting for the states to reopen and wondering if it's safe. We've been waiting for tests and for test results. It's it's just not a surprise that we're impatient and frustrated with what's going on. Well, but what can you do with all that? Nobody wants to sit around all day and listen to cable news and get more aggravated with what's going on in the world. In one of the things that people have been doing for a long time, it's been sort of kind of management training and administrative training, is what they call identification of your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. That you can do an inventory of both you, your family, your business, if you have one, of what are your strengths in this time. Are you flexible? Are you patient when others are not? Are you resilient? Do you have some reserves? But then what are your weaknesses? Are you out of cash? Are you heavily in debt? Um, do you not have a way to see the next way forward? These are weaknesses. And if we can think about our strengths and weaknesses, I guess, with open eyes, but not being harsh or judgmental against ourselves, then we can also sometimes identify opportunities of how to use those strengths to ours and our community's advantages, but also threats to what may be out there. This may be, in some ways, a great time to open up a real estate shop. But if you don't have clients, if you don't have buyers, the threat of doing that with all your skills and time may not be the best thing for you to do. So one step though is to just be candid. That's the one something that you can do is make an inventory of where you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, what some opportunities might be, what some threats might be, um, and just figure that out. If you're in debt, figure out what those debts are. Figure out who you need to pay, or if you can pay them. Well, but after you do that, what do you do next? Well, it's hard. Um, if what you're waiting for is one of these small business loans to come in, generally your accountant is a very good place to start, maybe your attorney. But these programs and rules are very new, so they're kind of being developed on the fly. So it's not as if people are necessarily going to have a, a great deal of experience with them. Maybe filling out some of those forms online, but right now some of those forms online are even shut down because there's no funds um, to distribute, even if you had a successful application. But your accountant, your existing attorney who knows your business affairs might be places to start. I'm going to try to get some web interviews on the paid sick leave aspect for small employers, or if you are hurt by COVID-19, Corona itself, those programs. I'm hoping to get someone to speak about the Small Business Reorganization Act of 2019. That was something before COVID, Corona, that the government was seeing to maybe help streamline small businesses to reorganize rather than liquidate if they have to seek protection under the federal bankruptcy statutes. That has not been around very long, and again, it's taking place in an environment that no one uh, foresaw sufficiently just a little while back. So those are a couple of things that you can do. Um, to identify your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, your threats, to actually check in with your professional advisors to continue to look at what might be out there in terms of reorganization. I think that's nobody wants to go out of business. Nobody, that includes if you lose your job, personal bankruptcy, you can reorganize under that as well. And family farms were being hit even before Corona. Also, bankruptcy filings were up in 2019, but Chapter 12, uh, family farm stuff. I don't do bankruptcy law. I haven't traditionally. Sometimes I find myself on behalf of clients in bankruptcy court, but you need to seek out somebody who has experience doing that. What else can you do in this period of impatience and frustration? Well, you can get your own affairs in order, right? You can try to get outside and get some fresh air. We are very thankful. My wife and I were talking about this over the weekend to live here in Arizona in a small town. Lots and lots of opportunities outside in wilderness, designated wilderness areas to hike and ride horses, just to get out and get some fresh air. And of course, Alaska still is known as the frontier, right? So there's lots of opportunity to get outside there, but get out, take care of yourself, do some exercise, and in conjunction with your doctor. You don't want to overdo it if you haven't been exercising. Go through your records, make sure you have everything that you need. If you need to update your wills or your trust, and for parents of young kids, one of the reasons here in Arizona to have a will is for no other reason, is to be able to nominate who's going to be the guardian of your minor children if something were, if the worst were to happen to you and to your spouse. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, about the opportunities and the frustrations that we're all going through, and hopefully that we're all thinking about how we can be on the other side of this and where we'd like to be, and at least to try to find some opportunities in this, though really it, it's difficult to maintain an optimistic view sometimes in this. Thank you.